All right, let's check with the press conference some San Bruno fire officials are conducting tonight. We want to take you there live right now.
An overview of the response and the activities that are going on in the city organization. Chief Haig.
H-A-A-G.
And say exactly what your title is.
Fire Chief, San Bruno, City of San Bruno.
Can you move? Yeah, thank you.
H-A-A. 2A.
At 6:40 this evening, we had a first alarm assignment of an explosion in the area. Units responded. What was discovered was it looked like a broken gas line, high pressure gas line. None of this can be confirmed. We still have yet to get to the scene of the origin of the fire. We've got 53 homes have been severely damaged. Up to 120 homes have some fire damage at this point. We have only one confirmed fatality. It's going to take us until at least tomorrow into the afternoon to do a full search.
Is it under control?
We'll take questions in just a moment.
Louder, please.
Okay.
That's done.
Okay.
Can we ask the questions?
Okay, in a moment. Again, my name is Connie Jackson. I'm the city manager, City of San Bruno. It's Jackson. The city organization is fully mobilized to assist residents. Our primary concern at this point is identifying and locating all of the residents of the affected area. We are asking residents of that area to report in to our shelter location on City Park Way at the Veterans Memorial Recreation Center in City Park off of Crystal Springs Road in San Bruno. It's urgently important that residents who have been evacuated or who have voluntarily evacuated to report in person or to call our emergency hotline at 616-7180. Again, that number is 616-7180. We're asking residents to report in so that we can make sure that all of the residents in the affected area are fully accounted for. This is our most immediate priority other than the emergency response that will continue through the night on scene at the location of the fire. Other than that, we have received overwhelming response from all of the agencies up and down the San Mateo County corridor, from state and federal officials. We are extremely grateful, and we are, of course, urgently concerned that the safety of our residents is secured, and we will be working around the clock to see to it that this incident is managed in the best, most effective way possible. Unfortunately, we understandably, I hope, do not have as much information as we will as time goes on, and we will keep you informed. At this point, I'd like to introduce Mayor Jim Ruane, and he will make a few comments as well.
Good evening. Jim Ruane, R-U-A-N-E.
Why don't you move over and so we can all...
Let me trade spaces here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks
Mayor.
a lot. Yeah, look, we can get this...
Thank you, City
we
Manager.
can make this more comfortable for you all.
All right. Once again, Jim Ruane, R-U-A-N-E, Mayor of the City of San Bruno. I'll leave the specifics and all the details to the professional responders, but all I have to say is a terrible, terrible tragedy has fallen on our city this afternoon. Our main concern as public officials here, making sure our citizens are safe. We're trying to do that right now, outreach. We have Red Cross here. We have Samtrans. We're interviewing as many people as we can from the affected area. But like I said, I'm going to leave the specifics up to the chiefs here. They'll give you details. But I would ask anybody who sees this broadcast tonight to say a special prayer for those people. This is going to be a long haul for the city and all of our residents for a number of weeks to come. Thank you.
Do you know how many people are unaccounted for right now?
No, we do not. We don't have any statistics on that. We know we have over 100 in the evacuation centers, so we were hopefully that most of those residents got out to the evacuation centers. But we don't have, we have not been able to get into the area for search.
Chief, describe the difficulties you had tonight assessing the situation and figuring out exactly what your strategy was to cope with it.
Chief, speak up, please.
Our problem is obviously it was a high-pressure gas line. We could not get close to the line until they could shut down that high-powered line. Currently, they are shutting down distribution lines, so we still have residual in the gas lines. So we're at the last briefing, we still were not able to access the area fully.
Is the fire still burning? Is the fire still burning?
One at a time, whatever.
The fires are still burning. Our west flank was our biggest challenge and probably the heaviest damage of the residential area. We are holding. Right now, we're confident that we will hold the fire to the existing perimeter.
What has PG&E told you?
PG&E was very helpful in addressing the situation. Obviously, the distribution line are two different systems, so they had to get resources out here to make that closure.
How many people evacuated? Any idea?
The question is how many people evacuated, Chief?
All I know at this time is that there was 100 people at our evacuation center.
Is there any way of knowing at this point how long those people who are not in the immediate fire area might have to stay away from their homes?
I couldn't venture to guess at this point until we really get down there to assess the situation.
Any indication of why this line broke? Heavily damaged and 120 others damaged?
Yes, that is the information we had at the briefing.
How widespread is the shutoff of gasoline services, electricity services? Can you estimate?
That would be a PG&E question. Would be better. I could only guesstimate and not be accurate. So.
Are they going to be Chief, any indication of PG&E?
That's up to you.
Chief, any indication of what caused?
The fire is being contained at this point. At the briefing, it was 50% contained, but I think we're in a good holding pattern right now, and I don't think we'll have much extension.
What is your particular concern tonight, Chief?
Well, actually getting access so we can make sure the gas is totally shut down, and we have our crews can go in and do some mop up and clean up of the area.
Do you know if there were any crews on the scene at the time of the explosion?
The city's going to try to coordinate as much as we can to help the residents. Hotline will be set up. Connie Jackson already told you about that, the city manager, and we're going to try to set up some informational tables if we can, probably at City Hall for insurance companies, things like that, so we can get quick relief for these individuals that are affected.
Causes a break.
Unknown at this time. We have no idea.
Where was the break?
All we know, it was down at the end of Glenview. At the bottom of Glenview seems to be where the first hole we noticed was, but it was a large hole.
At this point, we have declared a local disaster in the city of San Bruno, which has been confirmed through the state, and we will be accessing federal resources to the extent that they are available through that process.
Do you expect a federal disaster declaration?
At this point, I do not know.
What is your major concern tonight?
Talk to the governor's office at all?
We did not.
Right now, the safety of our firefighters, as obviously we don't have great lighting in the area, and we're going to have to go through. It's a messy scene down there. So our safety of the firefighters and any public around and all the safety personnel, that's going to be priority number one.
Do you got to be daylight before you really get in there to see what happens?
Until we get down there, I hope not. I hope we'll do initial investigations tonight, but realistically, we'll probably tomorrow morning is what we're doing.
Are the evacuations finished now, or could there be more depending on circumstances tonight?
You could be correct. There could be more. I mean, right now we had the most affected areas that we've evacuated with law enforcement's assistance, and we're comfortable with that, but it doesn't mean that something else couldn't happen.
How big is that area?
Reported smelling gas for over a week coming from your gutter. What was the response? Reported smelling gas for over a week. What was the response?
This is a question coming from a citizen here.
This is the first we have any notice from it.
Coming from the gutter.
This is the first time the fire department's ever had any notice.
The question here for our viewers back there is that some people had reported apparently smelling gasoline for a week. Let's get back here.
I'm going to venture between 150 and 200 right now. We've got six alarms going into this fire, and plus we have outside resources with water tenders and so forth. So,
Chief, can you reiterate again the number of homes, please, the people affected, evacuations, casualties? Go through the stats.
I thought I did that.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can do that for you in just a minute.
We have confirmed 53 structures have been severely damaged. 120 more have fire damage. We know we have evacuated at least 100 people into the shelters.
Would severely damaged mean destroyed? Severely damaged, was that destroyed?
I don't have eyewitness account of that. I haven't been down to the bottom of the hill.
It looks like there was a big parkland behind it.
No point in Greg's station.
That's spread.
That's part of the Crestmore Canyon, which was on the east side of the explosion.
What would you say the acreage of the fire is?
Our estimate is about 10 acres in the canyon, which we have contained right now. We expect it to do so. The winds hopefully will stay laid down, and the moisture in the air will be a benefit to us.
Did you ever see anything like this before?
No, and I don't want to again.
All right, you're looking at a live news conference being held out in the street there on the perimeter of the fire. That is Fire Chief Haig, who is explaining really kind of a laundry list of what's gone on this afternoon, including the destruction of 53 homes, at least 120 more damaged.
That's right. If you were just joining us, this is our continuing coverage. Breaking news that has been going on since 6:15 this evening of a massive explosion in San Bruno that set off a destructive and very deadly fire. There are 3 confirmed dead in this disaster now.
We understand at least 2 others have, 3 the total right now. Tonight, the California Office of Emergency Services says 53 homes have been completely destroyed, 120, as we mentioned, damaged to some extent. Less than an hour ago, PG&E confirmed that one of its gas lines ruptured in the area where the blast occurred. The utility company says that it would take accountability if it was found to be responsible for that explosion, but it cautioned that the cause of the blast has yet to be determined.
Now, neighbors in the area tell CBS 5 that they have been smelling gas for several days now. This all began, as I mentioned, at around 6:15 tonight. The first explosion was reported near Skyline Boulevard and San Bruno Avenue. Witnesses in the area say several blasts then followed. At least 27 people have been taken to Bay Area hospitals, but that number of injuries is, of course, expected to rise.
Okay, so the fire is inside a very specific area of San Bruno. General perimeter starting at Sneath Lane and looping around Claremont Drive and Glenview Drive. We heard the fire chief say there that the rupture was at the bottom of Glenview. We've also seen fire spread as far out as Vermont Way.